Hello, friends. Welcome back to the AI Empowered series, the complete guide to AI in your personal and professional lives. So today I want to talk about a really unique use case for AI that really leans into its strengths, and that's using AI as a research assistant. So I'm going to be providing a systematic framework for you to transform AI from just a proxy for Google and into one that really enhances your ability to learn quickly, produce reliable knowledge, and just allow you to become an expert in something very quickly. So through my decade of experience leading professionals across healthcare, education, government, energy, and enterprise, I've learned that knowledge is so important to where we start in our journeys in a project or when we're doing work. We really need to come from a place of a solid foundation of knowledge so that we are experts and can execute things effectively. Knowledge is everything. So using AI in this way is really going to elevate your capabilities, not just professionally, but personally as well. You're going to be able to leverage the knowledge that exists within AI so that you are empowered and uplifted by that knowledge. So by the end of this video, you'll have this research framework that I've developed, and it'll transform AI from just those simple sort of, basic responses with simple answers to something producing professional quality research for you. And you can actually take that research and give it to you in ways that you can most easily understand it based on your learning style. And so you can upskill extremely quickly. So a lot of people are still just using outdated research methods, which use and waste a lot of time. AI-enhanced research really enables comprehensive analysis across a lot of different sources and perspectives and analytic frameworks very quickly. It's something that would take a human a long time to do, to synthesize a lot of information, but it's exactly what AI is created for. So really lean into that capability and allow it to do that heavy work for you. This approach produces more than just accurate and actionable insights. It's really about empowering you with the most impactful knowledge and making it sink into your brain and the way that you work so that it drives that value. Early adopters of this will really see the significant improvement and competitive advantage that you can gain from harnessing this really powerful tool and all of this knowledge. So I want to jump into this research framework, and it's yet another acronym that will help you understand how to research with AI. Research is the acronym. So you first want to recognize, identify research objectives and define success criteria. You want to establish research parameters, scope, and methodological approaches. And then you want to synthesize. So use AI to synthesize that information across multiple sources and perspectives, and then evaluate. So apply critical analysis to assess the information quality and relevance. And then you want to analyze, conduct deep analysis using professional frameworks and methodologies to make sure that it aligns with the research that you need. You want to refine, iterate the output and also your process to improve research quality through continuous learning. You want to connect, you want to link findings to broader strategic implications and actionable insights. And finally, you want to highlight, extract key insights and make them accessible for you and others to take the information and make it impactful for you and your business. So this research framework really transforms that ad hoc information gathering into professional analysis that extracts the key insights and presents it in a way that is actually useful to you. So I want to dive a little bit deeper into some of the principles of how to prompt for research, because it's a bit of a unique use case that demands its own kind of approach. Professional research with AI begins with clear objectives in the prompt and strategic scoping that guides that comprehensive analysis. So some key points are providing that strategic clarity. So define the research purpose, the expected outcomes, and decision-making applications. Scope management. You need to establish boundaries that ensure focused, relevant analysis. You want to give it success criteria. Determine specific metrics that indicate successful research completion. And then stakeholder alignment. So ensure that research objectives serve the specific professional or organizational need. I'm going to give you a bit of a framework for you to prompt for research. And so you're going to start with objectives. So what specific questions need answering? Then you're going to provide the AI context. What decisions will this research inform, and what kind of place is this research taking place within? You're going to give it scope. So what areas should be included or excluded? You're going to give it a timeline. When are the results needed and at what depth? And also, at what time period are you trying to take the research from? Are you working from an older set of data or more current information? And then you want to talk about the stakeholders and give it who will be using these findings and how. And finally, give AI your clear success criteria. So what constitutes comprehensive, actionable results? So this clear framework for prompting research will give you a really good foundation to get impactful results. One really important piece to AI research is managing your sources. So you need to think about AI research excellence as needing a systemic approach to the information that you're putting into it, not just with your prompt, but with the sources that you're gathering, that you're either providing yourself or asking AI to search for. So a few things to think about with sources is source diversification. So combine academic research, industry reports, expert opinions, and empirical data as needed so that you can actually synthesize information that is applicable to you. Okay, you want to think about the perspectives that exist within the sources that you're getting. Include multiple viewpoints to ensure comprehensive understanding, or dive deep into one specific area that aligns with you or your business. For quality assessment, you really want to evaluate credibility, relevance, potential bias of these different sources, and make sure that the output is not being tainted by something that you don't exactly want in there. And then finally, you should think about pattern recognition. Identify themes, trends, and insights that you want AI to take particular attention to in your research as you apply it in your life. I want to talk about sort of a critical piece of this analysis, because you need to evaluate the research that it gives you and understand that it may not be 100% factual, and you need to go and validate and make sure what it's giving you is actually the truth. And it can be a difficult thing to manage at this time with AI because, like I said in a previous module, it has its training data in which it's been trained to work from that information and give a standard response based on the input that you give it. And then it can search for resources, or you can give it sources. So it can be hard to fully steer AI in the exact direction because of the interaction between that training information and the information that's either gathering itself or you're giving it. So I urge you to think critically about how you're applying the research that it gives you. I would not recommend taking the exact output that AI has given and just publishing it or trying to get it published in some scientific research paper or any other area to publish work. I would use it as a foundation to understand the area, generate your own ideas on research that's needed, and use it just as a guide rather than a Bible to live by. So look for that source credibility, relevant analysis, and then look for any bias within it. And it can really help you get useful insights rather than things that have been sort of muddled up by all the information that it's processing. So research also gains strategic value when it's integrated with established frameworks like we discussed in previous modules, where you can actually start to apply the research into some of the frameworks that you already work with and the artifacts that you work with within your organization, like SWOT analysis, customer presentation, things like that, like adding in this really insightful information into these things can increase your credibility as long as you're going through that quality assurance process. So really make sure you're applying these things in responsible, practical ways, and you should be able to gain insights from all this synthesis of information and really increase your quality, your credibility, how you're approaching strategic decisions. It's a really important piece to the direction that you and your company go in, is what information you're drawing upon. So it's a very powerful tool, but you have to be very careful with it. So use AI to research, but understand every step of the way where it's getting the information from and if it's actually, accurate and credible. So I want to just go into a few advanced research techniques that can really help you take it to the next step when you're working with AI as a research partner. And that's with some ideas of comparative analysis, a comparison across multiple options, scenarios, or alternatives. Run this research a few times with different information and see what aligns and what's different so you understand the limits of AI and where you can apply this. You can look at research of trend analysis, so historical patterns of identification and future projections. So you can use AI to really guide those strategic decisions. You can look at stakeholder analysis with research, get an idea of the field of other businesses, competitors, partners, and even stakeholders within specific projects that there's information on the people that you're working with, and get that multi-perspective evaluation going on along with something like your stakeholder matrix to really try to align that research to a practical way to apply it. And then scenario planning as well. So multiple future scenarios and developments with contingency planning, start to simulate what the research says, what it may do in the future based on different situations that you feed that research into. I hope you learned something just about how to integrate AI into your research process. It's a really foundational area that AI can enhance because it's what AI was actually really built for, to synthesize a lot of information and piece together full text that is structured in a way that you can get insights from easily. You just need to be really careful about the information that it's trained on, the information that you're giving it, and always double, triple check these factual claims, look at different versions that it's created to see what it might be filling in the gaps with, think critically, do all the things that we discussed in the first 11 modules to really understand how to get AI to that place that's giving you really high quality output. I hope you learned something, and there's some links in the description about more about myself, some resources that I've created to help you and businesses grow with AI. I really hope you join my community and let me know what you're thinking. How do you use AI in research? What are some really powerful ways that you've applied research into other areas using some more advanced application models? I really want to hear from you, so tell me what you're thinking, and I can't wait to see you in the next module. Thanks.